Good morning, YouTube, or should I say good day. I have finally made it to my destination in sunny Melbourne. It is a beautiful 18 degrees here it's now, which, if you've ever been to Scotland, you know that anything over double digits is applicable for the scenario of taps off. So this is quite nice. Not too hot, not too cold. So I flew out Thursday morning. I was that close to getting a free upgrade to business class. I got to the desk and I wasn't really going to bother. I'd planned to it and then I was like, should I not? I kind of wavered, and I decided, you know what, why not? I'll ask. And I just asked him. I was like, look, I know you have people probably asking us all the time, but is there any space available in the upper classes? Which I knew there was, because the night before I had checked to see how busy the flight was, and it was quite empty. There were still quite a few seats going. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Let me just check, systems and stuff. Just looked it up, and she's like, unfortunately, because of your ticket type, you are excluded from being upgraded. I don't know if you've ever flown with Etihad, but when you get an economy class ticket, there's 4 different tiers. There's like the cheapest of the cheap, which is what I got because I wanted to try and save money as much as I could. But and then you've got the more expensive ones, and the only real difference is to do with changing times and changing dates and things like that. And which I didn't know at the time was upgrade eligibility. And I think it was about £50 or something was the difference between the cheapest one and the second cheapest, and the second cheapest allowed you to be upgraded. So I was £50 away from getting upgraded. So a little top tip. But it was annoying because she said actually she would have done it, but sadly not. The flight was okay. The first part from Edinburgh to Abu Dhabi was actually quite quick. Watched a few films on the plane. Watched The Founder, if you've not seen that, with Michael Keaton, about how I thought it was how he how he invented McDonald's, but it's more a story of how he stole the idea. What else did I watch? I watched The Accountant, which was alright, just generic action film. Watched some Brooklyn Nine-Nine, watched Friends. So the 7 and a bit hours flew in pretty quick. We landed in Abu Dhabi about, I think it was at 7 o'clock in the evening or something. And I had 2 hours until my changeover. It was pitch black there, but dear God, the heat. Just walking off the plane, it just hits you. I think even though it was dark and there was no sun, it was still about 36 degrees. And I don't deal with heat very well, so I was not enjoying life. The second part of the flight was a lot more arduous. It was overnight, and I tried to get myself to a sleep pattern similar to Melbourne so I wouldn't be as jet lagged, which has actually worked so far. So I slept most of the flight initially until sort of later, halfway through it. And then I started watching films and having food and things like that. In terms of flying with Etihad, I thought it was great. I've never flown with them before. I normally fly with people like Ryanair, EasyJet, because I just went on holidays to Europe, so I've never really seen the point in paying more money for the same flight. So just drinks galore, food, it was fantastic, and also you get your nice wee monitor and hundreds of films to watch. And I actually managed to catch a bit of the football because they live streamed the Europa League Manchester United game. I fell asleep before the end, and I don't actually know what the score was. It was 0-0 the last time I saw it. I'll need to check that. So I got into Melbourne at about 7 o'clock on Friday evening. Getting from there to the city was easy. If you ever do come to Melbourne, get the Sky Bus. It's $19, which is £12, something like that maybe. It takes you straight from the airport, like outside the terminal, straight to the middle of Melbourne to Southern Cross Station. And it's just quick, only takes about half an hour. From there, I just walked around the corner to the hotel that I was staying at just for the night. My accommodation is now where I am, and I'll show you in a minute, is at the hospital, which is outside the main city itself. It's only 20 minutes away by train, so it's very accessible. But for the first night, I just wanted to get to a hotel and just kind of dump my bag, get a bit settled, rather than trying to hook out to the middle of the city, outside the city centre. Try and find where to get the keys and all this stuff, and I was like, no, I can deal with that in the morning when I'm a bit more fresher. So dumped my bags, showered, because 20 hours on a plane does not help hygiene, and then I met up with some friends. So although I travelled here myself, there's a few other girls in my year who are on their elective, who've been here for the past couple of weeks, because I did a week and a half in Kirkcaldy before I came to Melbourne. It's a far cry, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so we went up for some food, went to Mamak, I think it's called. It's a Malaysian restaurant, really nice, very cheap as well. It was only $21. This big massive plate of like chicken, the diced chicken with curry sauce, and not curry sauce, but very spicy sauces and stuff, and a bowl of rice, and it's BYOB as well, for $2 surcharge. So we got some beers, well, I got some cider, they got some wine, they had some food, then we went out just to a few pubs, had a few drinks, and then by that point it was approaching midnight and I was starting to enter my coma. So I decided that I wanted to go, and to be honest, they said they were the same, they were up early, so we just all went back after that. So it was a good first night. Slept amazing, nice big queen-sized bed, far cry from the tiny little seats, they're still quite roomy on the plane, that I tried to sleep on. This morning I was quite productive. I got my MyKey pass. If you ever come to Melbourne and you want to be there for a long period of time, even if you're there for a week, you can get a MyKey card, and you can get it for like 7 days. I got it for 28 days since we're here for a month. And you just touch on and touch off. The public transport here is amazing. There's trains everywhere. There's a free tram in the city, which is also fantastic, because coming from Edinburgh, where we have a tram in the city, and you have to A, pay for it, and B, cost hundreds of millions to make. It was delayed years and years. It just shows how useful trams can actually be if they're done right. But it's free within the city, so even if you don't have one of these cars and you just plan on staying in the city, you just jump on, jump off, whatever you want. Because I'm going to be outside it here, staying in this accommodation, and there's a train station out the front door of the hospital, which is fantastic. I just decided to get a 28-day pass and then just jump on and off. So I will show you around. So, I may as well turn the camera. So this is my room. As you can see, my lovely single bed. Bit of a shame considering I just spent the night in a queen-size bed. A cupboard with my clothes in it, but sadly no coat hangers. So if you ever come to the accommodation here, bring some coat hangers. Nice little view out the window of a car park. It's got mesh on it, which I don't know if that will keep out man-eating spiders, but it will keep out the smaller ones at least. And then my desk, a wee sink, and then outside there's like a communal kitchen and bathroom and things like that. Still have to actually go and explore that. Yeah, so this is it. And why did I choose this? Because it's cheap. It's the main reason. If you want to stay in a hotel in Melbourne, you're looking at $80 to $100 a night. And if I'm staying here for a month, I'm not wanting to spend $3,000 just to stay here. Airbnb is another option, which I think is just marginally cheaper. But I mean, if I'm going to be in this hospital, I can literally walk out the front door and I'm at the entrance of the hospital. So it's absolutely ideal for me. And as I said, because of where the train station is out across the road, and then I have this pass just to get on and off whenever I want, it's ideal to stay out here and stay here. It's not luxury, but I'm only going to be here for sleeping and shivering, so who cares? Yeah, so it's been a good first day and a bit. Yeah, so this afternoon we're going to meet up and go to a rugby match. It's the Melbourne Rebels against the Johannesburg Lions, I think it is. And yeah, I guess I'll be cheering on Melbourne since I'm here. But I look forward to it. I don't quite know what we're doing in the afternoon, but hopefully some more exciting stuff, and I will bring it all to you guys very soon. So enjoy your day. Till next time.